Hey there, CJ Math students, and welcome to Homework 2.9. This is a preview homework because it's the first time we're working with it. But what we're going to do is add integers using number lines. So if a number is positive, that is pretty simple. You're going to want to move right on the number line. And if a number is negative, you're going to want to move left on the number line. Okay, so it is possible that sometimes I'll have you move left twice, right? Negative plus a negative. So here we go. A negative 2 plus a positive 3. So you start at negative 2 and then move right 3 times. So start at negative 2 right here and move right 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And then where you end is your answer, negative 1. So I want to see this work. I want to say start at negative 2, move right 3. So this should be written on your paper. This graph should be written on your paper. Your answer is obviously 1, circle 1. And like when you do number 2, you should say start at 12, move left negative 12, right? You should like have this work on every problem. So let's look at number 3. So you're going to start at negative 6, move right, because it's positive, 9 times. So we're going to start at negative 6 right here. We're going to move right 9 times. Well, moving to 0 was 6 times, and then 7, 8, 9. So it stops right there. So your answer is positive 3. So 3 is your answer. Okay. Number 5, start at 5, move, this is negative now, left, negative 3. I moved left because it was negative. So I'm going to start at 5, move left negative 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So I stop there at 2. Sorry, 3 times. All right, so my answer is 2. Don't forget to circle your answers, please. All right, moving on down to number 7. What we're going to do is find the sum and make sure you graph your number on the number line. So for here, you're going to start at negative 7, and you're going to do 2 things. First, you're going to move left negative 2, and then you're going to move right 8 times. All right, so I'll do the first one in red here. So start at negative 7. Move left 2, 1, 2, then stop. And then, so I started at negative 7, I move left 2, and then you're going to move right 8 times. So up here, you move right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So you're going to stop. Your answer is negative 1. You got to be super careful when you do this to make sure you're counting correctly how many spaces you moved. But basically this problem, sorry, let me circle my answer before I forget. This problem is basically negative 7 plus negative 2, which we found out is negative 9, and then negative 9 plus 8, right? And negative 9 plus 8 is start at negative 9, move it right 8 times, you should get to negative 1. All right, so number 9, you're going to start at negative 4, you're going to move right 5 times, and then you're actually going to move back left negative 7 times, right? So we're going to start at negative 4. We're going to move right 5 times. So to 0 gets me to 4, and then 1 more is 5. So that's where I'm going to stop there. And then I'm going to start at 1 again and move back 7 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I stop right there. Sorry, and that gets me to negative 6. So the answer is negative 6. So another way you could look at this is you could rewrite this problem as negative 4 plus negative 7 plus 5, right? You're using the commutative property. Write that down, commutative property, where you can say, I can change the order of addition problems. So this added together, negative 4, start at negative 4, move left 7 times. So I actually get you negative 11, right? 4 plus 7, keep the negative 7. Then plus 5, and then basically you're just doing this problem, right? Negative 11 plus 5 should give you negative 6, which is exactly what we got. Let's move over to the back side. So we have a whole bunch of word problems here, and basically what I want you to do, read the word problem, write the addition problem that's been put there, and then solve it. So certain stock gained 5 points, So that's like plus 5 and in, let's just say, 1 day. Lost 7 points the next day. Write an integer addition problem and find the sum of the final stock. So it's 5, right? Positive 5, you don't have to necessarily say plus 5, but plus -7, right? And we can use either the number line or symbols or whatever we want. So we start at 5 and we move back 7 times to the left and we get -2. So my answer is -2. And another way I could show my answer is saying, all right, I got 5 positives and I got 7 negatives. Positives and negatives cancel out. I'm left with 2 negatives. That's another way I can show my answer. So I can use the number line, I can use symbols, or I can say, hey, these are different signs, so I subtract and I keep the sign that has more. DSSM. Different signs, subtract, keep the sign that has more. 7 minus 5 is 2. I have more negatives, so it's -2. For number 13, Jonathan owed his mom $5. Owing money is negative after buying snacks. The next day he earned $8 selling snow cones. Earning money is positive. Write an additional integer for expressions and find the sum of the money he still owes or the profit that he made. So it's owing money, -5, right? That's a negative sign, not a minus sign, plus the money he earned, which is a positive 8. So -5 plus 8. Again, you can use the number line. You can say, all right, start at -5, move right 8 times. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I end up at 3. So he made a profit of $3. I mean, that's money he can keep. And then I could do this in symbols again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I can cross off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but I'm left with 1, 2, and 3. So I have $3 left, right? Or I can say this is different signs, subtract, keep the sign that has more. 8 minus 5 is 3. I have more positive, so that's why it's positive 3. All right. 15, the rock weighs 256 pounds. That's obviously positive weight right off the bat, but like to wrestle in a lower weight class. So he loses 4 pounds 1 week. He gains back 2 pounds another week. He loses another 5 pounds the 3rd week, and then loses another 3 pounds the 4th week. So I'm going to have to add all this together. So 256 plus losing 4 pounds is -4. Oops, gaining, well, that should be positive, my fault. Plus 2 the next week. And then the week after that is plus -4 because he lost 5 pounds, and then, sorry, -5 plus -3. All right, so here's what I would do. If I were you, I'd rewrite this so the positives were next to each other, and then the negatives were next to each other. So using the commutative property of addition, 256 plus 2, then plus all my negatives. -4 plus -5 and plus -3. The reason why I've done this is I can add the positives together now easily, and I can add the negatives together now easily, right? So 256 plus 2 is 258. Plus, and then -4, -5, -3. This is an example of SSAK. Same signs, just add them and keep the sign. So 4 plus 5 plus 3, and then just keep a negative sign, basically. So let me put my negative sign down now so I don't forget. But 4 plus 5 is 9, and add 3, that's 12. So it's -12. So basically what I'm doing is, sorry, just to make sure you guys understand, this was SSAK, right? Now I'm doing 258 plus -12. So this is an example of different signs, DS, different signs, subtract them, and keep the sign that has more. So we obviously have more positives, so we're just going to do 258 minus 12. I know it says a plus sign, right? But when they're different signs, we really kind of subtract them. So that's 6, 4, that's 246, and it's positive 246 pounds because we had more positives, right? If that was a -258 and that was a positive 12, then my answer would be -246, right? Lastly, use your notes and incomplete sentence in your own word. Tell me what absolute value means. So absolute value, I'm helping you on this one, you'll do the next one on your own, is the distance a number is from 0. it is always positive. So like we have the absolute value of -7 is 7, or the absolute value of, say, 5, still 5, right? Always, these bars means absolute value, right? And then use your notes in incomplete sentences. Tell me why -7 is smaller than -6. Think about a number line and think about how, as you move left on the number line, what happens to numbers. Even though they look like they're getting bigger, what really happens to them, right? So that's it. Make sure you give me a call if you have questions, and make sure you show all work. And I do want you to write that down on your paper so you know to do it. Show all work. That's it.